Alright. So, okay, we'll be going over how to base on this one. And sorry that I sound a little tired. I've got like a flight to catch today, and yeah. But first of all, so don't base here. You don't really want to base usually where you spawn. And second of all, look for any like huge clusters like these, preferably 3 or more. I think this works pretty well because we've got 2, 4, 6 spot here and 5 spot here, so I think this is actually pretty decent. So I think I would start here first because you've got crystals nearby versus over there. Sure, that's a 6 spot versus 5 spot, but you'll head there anyways later. Yeah. And also, Spire batteries are also pretty decent, but I wouldn't really go out of your way. Like, I wouldn't base there first, I guess. That's probably the best way to say it, but yeah. So first, you're gonna fill 2 well pumps, and then you're gonna put a refill station. And make sure don't completely suck away these crystals, because you're gonna want to save them later for crystal atomizers, because that's good supplemental power. Now we're gonna plug this together, and then upgrade one of these to have a fabricator. Oh yeah, oops, that wasn't really smart. There we go. Now we can take from this. Okay, and then build the rest of your well pumps. While those build, I'm actually just going to take power from here. And then, of course, we're going to connect them all up. Just do that real quick. Cool. There's a spire battery right there, which is good. So, and then upgrade this one to have a, what is it, distributor. And then upgrade this one to have a fabricator. So let that go. Help it build a little bit. Okay, now you're gonna go down. You're gonna find your nearest pressurizer, your top pressurizer. Oh my god, it's over here. So you're gonna build this pressurizer, and which I mean, we shown the tutorial. You should build 2 arc turrets here. Some, especially more experienced players, don't really defend immediately, but for the sake of this tutorial, it's probably better so that you guys don't forget. Because our main concern, I think, is if we tell you guys to defend later, is that people will forget, and obviously that's not great. It's better that, because the reason why is that building these defenses kind of slow you down, but I don't think they do slow you down, but I feel like it's better than forgetting later and then not defending these pressurizers later, which isn't great. But anyways, you're gonna upgrade the rest of these. Oh, that upgrades, but you're gonna upgrade the rest of these to the max level. And I think now, if there's a spire battery, like for example in this place, I'll connect. Oh wow, there's 2 of them. I'll connect them now. So we'll do that real fast. But yeah, these things are really good because I've already added 60 power plus 60 power. But just connecting this. And also, in this case, it's fine because I've added a bunch of storage of these spire batteries. But some people would connect a spawn now, like directly to it, not distributor cap, so that there's some additional storage. But I mean, that isn't really required in this case because we've got 2 of these, which give a decent amount of storage. anyways, once these are fully upgraded, you're gonna build 3 shields. Then you're gonna do, I'll do small, medium, large here. Always make sure to repeat this everywhere, because if you have, what is it called? If they're all the same size, all 3 of them will get damaged if explosive weaponry hit them, which isn't great. Like, if that happens, there's no point for multiple shields. And doing this kind of negates this, since there's space in between the shields. And next, you're going to put some arc turrets. Usually just start off with 3. So 1, 2, 3. And then I would put the observer down, observer plus point defense combo. Like this. Connect your, and make sure to rotate the pipe here to be on the same side as the output. That'll become handy for this. You just want to connect it together. Like that. There you go. And you've got your point defense. Now, I would go down. Alright, so your bottom pressurizer is here, right? So you're gonna build on the same like elevation, I guess, as your pressurizer. You would build your fabricator. Make sure it's at least in range of two distributors like this. So, but in this case, it's linked to 3, which is nice. And then now we're actually gonna put the observer here. And then point defense here. Here, this is also where some people wouldn't defend immediately, because, again, this does take a decent amount of time. However, for the sake of this tutorial, at least if you're a new player, just do it so you don't forget later and then regret your decisions. And when you have when you lose all your pressurizers. But I mean, I will say, the defenses are only part of the system, especially down here, because this is probably where it's weakest. If anyone tries to attack that bottom pressurizer, it definitely relies on the player to come down here with like a minigun or something to try and wash them out, because like that point defense alone will not stop them, especially since there's no arc turrets there. If we were to try and get arc turrets down there, that just wastes way too much time. Like, way too much time. They're not that important that it takes your time, because you would be using your time that could be, like, I don't know, used expanding over here, or over here, for example. But yeah, that's the base. Trying to think if there's anything. And, I mean, from here on out, you kind of just rinse and repeat the same thing to get power. And also, it is important to make sure you have arc turret coverage everywhere around your base, because you do not want enemies leaking you, because that's not great. Sorry. I think that's pretty much it, so yeah.
Hello, welcome to the live demo. So I'm gonna show you the other two, the first way to make hefty tanks work, and then I'm also gonna show you another way to make hefty tanks work, and we're also gonna go over large tanks. So I'm gonna line these up, because I think you can pretty much understand all the different types of tanks. I'm gonna just do 4 for each. So for large tanks, you're gonna upgrade each one like this, and then you're gonna come in from the front. I'm actually gonna make this flow away real quick. Come in from the front, and now from the back, you can just interlace it like this. Bang. And you can cap it off just like that. For this one, this is the other way that you could have done it for over there, but you can't do it on standard tanks since they're too close together. So you're gonna actually have to do it like this. I'm gonna show you the other way, how to pipe it for hefty tanks, the way that we didn't show in the video. But just like this, you can pipe it like that. Again, 4 is probably all you're gonna have, like all you're gonna need for standard tanks, and I'm gonna show you another way, because this way might make it a little bit easier for you to understand. So by pressing T on your T junction like this, and you have it right there, you can press T and it connects it from that front area, and now you can just slap it on just side by side, and you don't have to worry about having it all together. And this still also works as long as it's properly aligned and not a little bit off centered. Let me just put those up there. As long as it's properly aligned, you can still connect it like that from the top, and that may make it easier for you to understand if you're not exactly planning for the future, but you should be planning for the future if you are playing the game of Eclipsis. Like that. It just works perfectly fine. And there you go. There's your other way to tank it. I'm gonna just go over here and show the other way, because there's a few other ways to tank, but these are the ones that just make the most sense. So here you see that you're gonna do it around the same like the standard tank over there. You're gonna pipe it just like this, bang bang bang. Let's just assume that is in there, and you would move it up to the top, pipe it again, and then cap it right there. So yeah, that's simple tanking and how you would do it. If you have to go up one for standard tank, for large tanks, let's do that real quick too. We're gonna also just come in from wherever you last made your cap, so you just build that there, upgrade all of those, coming from the back, interlace again, one more time, interlace, and then cap that. Also, to the developers, please make it so if you can cap the backside too. That's something that I do not like that you can't do. Thanks for watching. Yay. Hello! We're gonna be doing the setup for both 4 and 5. Just know that you can also do this on land. You don't have to do it at the edge of a base. Just in case you're somewhere like in the middle of the islands. But just make sure it's not below your Skybase, or else your SSIMs won't work. That's another problem that I've had sometimes. It's a little bit silly because we weren't planning it out properly. But anyways, first we're gonna check the arsenals. You should know now if you at least watched the tutorial. So we're gonna go to character, and we're gonna place it in the opposite direction. So we're gonna have to place it right there, and we're gonna place the upgrade station on top of the spawn pad, and then you're gonna do the T junction, press T, click that, and pipe it to your area. So there's your first area. And now I have a lot of fabricators, so this will be, for me, it's gonna take a lot less time than it would for you. So yeah, just keep that in mind. So we're gonna place 4 of these arsenals on top, and then we're gonna place 2, 3 SSIMs. Sorry, I almost lied there. Also, if your shields are too close to it, you might have to lower your shield radius. I've had that problem too, but these shields are perfectly spaced out, so it won't cover the SSIMs. Not perfectly, but around perfect. So here we're gonna just place the T junctions up like this. Have the top facing up. For this last one, we're gonna have that facing up and then facing to the side, and you don't have to put a T junction on the last one. Just connect that. We're gonna also place an elbow right there, just so we can. Oops, what is going on? I placed this a little bit too close. I'm gonna have to just have an elbow right there. what I did, I used the shift scroll wheel to change the direction a little bit so it can fit. And now you just do your piping. Up, place these right there, put that one upside down by accident. Don't mind me just placing it. Bang, bang. So lastly, this is the part where it gets a little bit confusing for some. It was confusing for me when I was first building, when I first learned about it. You're gonna place the distributor right here. You see, it is aligned perfectly, or basically perfectly. If it isn't aligned and you place it farther back, it's gonna not pipe correctly, and you just want it to be easy enough for you. Cut that out of there. Okay. So next we're gonna build the spawn point. Just make sure it's on top and that the distributor cap is facing this side. And we're gonna power that. Make sure you power your spawn over there. I did not power it earlier. But you're gonna add a refill station, and this will make it so that it will be perfectly spaced out when you put a shield generator on top. And you can also, there's also one more thing. I've seen people use, you can place 2 drop tanks on top of this. I can show you right now, might as well. It's in valves. We didn't really talk about the drop tank that much, but you can place 2 drop tanks on top of this and then put a medium shield. But personally, I just don't think it's worth it, because if they are getting near your what's it called, near your setup, you shouldn't be, like, they shouldn't be near your setup at all. Is this working? Yeah, it is. See, look, you can't really see the outline, but the shield is perfectly aligned there so that it doesn't cover the three dishes on top of there. But my point is if they're getting to your area, I mean, there's some people that might like come from the bottom to laser strike this, but they shouldn't be getting here. That's my point. Because you should be defending your pressurizers. No way they're gonna spend like that insane amount of time just to get to your setup. I mean, sure, but if you build it fast enough, you should be able to replenish your setup. I get if maybe a solo, but like I just don't get it personally. So here I'm gonna have to actually put a bridge here, because okay. So next is the 5 area. This part, I personally like 5. I know that when we learnt it, we wouldn't learn to do 5, but I personally like 5 the most. You can see why in the video, because I wrote that area. Hopefully this works. Can I put a distributor cap there? Nope. Okay, that's good enough. That ain't good. Yeah. Okay. So again, T-junction like that. Put that right there. I already checked because of the last one. If this is your first time, still check. So we're gonna place 4 arsenals here. The reason why I'm spacing them out is because if I put a shield there, it's probably gonna cover the, like, when I did it for the video, it was covering the dishes when I put the small shield down. Hopefully I'm far enough now so that the small shield does not cover the dishes. But you would more likely put it in this area because then your arsenals are covered, but as you see, my arsenals are not covered now. So again, 5 here. Damn, those back ones are not on. Yeah, so to get faster at this, you want to start piping by the time you are building these SSIMs. So I'm gonna just teach you this real quick. If you put this to the side, this is still the top area, you know? So you can pipe it without any elbows. You can just pipe it. And then it is now perfectly piped. Let's just get the, oops, fell off right there. Let's just get the SSIM, the last SSIM place. and then again up, and then to the side on the second to last SSIM. No matter how much arsenals you make, it's always going to be the second to last SSIM that you're going to be doing that for. So then again, just pipe that like that and that. And again, distributor, you're going to line it up. So technology, sorry, my keybinds. I'm not that good at keybinds. Please don't hate. I'll get better at it, I promise. Line that up right there. And then you're going to pipe that right there. And again, spawn point on top. Make sure you power that with a distributor cap. Oops, went too far. Refill station right on top. And then shield generator, no matter what the size is. Not what the size is. Just make it small. As you see, this is perfectly covered. We can also get the setup here, like automatic. You can go minigun. As long as you keep it consistent, you should be fine. Like I think it was actually Napalm next, and then it is rocket launcher, and then you go scanner, and then these are the 3 tactical strikes that you're gonna need to use for most of the entire game. All of these are very, very, very useful. So that's why there's this spawn here. And so let's say, where's the spawn here? So I can teleport and go just pick them up instantly. And then if you have a spawn near the Skybase, you can just teleport to them and then laser strike them again, or near any base of theirs. You can laser strike them. You get a fabricator. You can build something. You can get an orbital shield, protect yourself from their turrets. It's a very, very useful setup, and that you're always gonna need to have these stuff on you most of the time, and it would be very helpful whether if you're building a Skybase like there's a scenario where like they get on and they have a minigun, you don't. You're gonna have to need to have a minigun there, especially since you are powered by distributors and they're not. So you are getting the Iridium back, they are not, so you can try to stall them. But they probably have a laser strike, and they might laser strike you. Just, this entire setup is very, very, very useful. And important for you to have. And as we go back to here to see the shields, the medium shields, perfectly aligned still. So I can just still connect these. You see they're still connected. Connection successful. Yeah, but I just think that this takes up more time, and that it's not very necessary for what you're trying to do as a player, because you should be focusing on trying to attack them or trying to build that Skybase up, especially if you are a single player. I get if you're a single player, it would make a little bit more sense for you to be doing that, because you are a single player and you don't have time to worry about if someone is attacking your setup. But yeah, that is the setup section. Thank you for watching, and on to the next one.
Okay, so now this we're gonna do the Skybase. Okay, you would ideally have a different base setup than this. You would ideally have the base setup that I showed in the tutorial, and if you watch the raw footage, it's actually right over there. But just for the sake of the tutorial, I'm building here. But you would want this a lot more defended, not this. You would want it pretty well defended, because the stem of your Skybase, if you lose that, there's no way to put it but you're toast, especially if you don't have an anchor, because you'll lose your Skybase, and that may cost you the game. So make sure you have good defenses here, like on the ground first, which we don't have, but you guys can figure it out. So first, for this Skybase setup, we will do 3 ladders up, and then a bridge here, and then you're gonna put a distributor here and here. Make sure to leave space in between, and you're gonna put a 4-way here. Now you're gonna go to the ground. You're gonna get yourself a pipe. You're gonna pipe it up. So you'll pipe that up, and you'll connect it to the right side here, and also connect the left side here, which I forgot to cover. And then now you'll go back down again. Ideally, you would be close enough to well pumps to do this, but you're going to put arc turrets on the stem. This is so that like it makes it harder for people to like, you know, come here and drill your stem down, because obviously that's not great, as I've said multiple times and hopefully emphasize. Now you're going to put 5 fabricators. Ideally, you would kind of want to run like this while placing them to save like a little bit of time. I mean, if you guys are new, and probably people who are watching this, I'm going to assume you guys are new, focus on just getting the placement right before you run and click, because that's a little hard. But what I did next is I put shields. I'm gonna distributor cap them, and this one to small and this one to medium. So the reason why we're doing this is so that like splash damage from specifically like any explosive, like a rocket launcher, like if they were all set to large, splash damage I think has the ability to hit both, like all of the shields, since they're kind of overlapping. By doing this, it gives like space. If you can see, this shield doesn't really full charge, but you can look at that base over there as an example. It gives space for that splash damage to not hit that middle shield or even the smaller shield. That's why we do that. And now we're gonna have to make sure we defend this section, which is also called I think we call it the midpoint, but I don't know what other people call it. So first you'll do your point defense on this shield generator, and then your observer here on this distributor that's forward, and they're gonna connect them together and well pipe. Or I mean, sorry, not well pipe, distributor cap. Jeez. Okay, and then now I would bring this pipe out here and then put 2 arc turrets here. So that's your midpoint. So you're gonna go 3 ladder blocks up, and then on this third one, you want to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 slits down. This is so that you don't hit the what is it? The height limit. Because if you were to build up here, you can see that like I can't place anything on these. You can place stuff here, but you can't place stuff like on the small railings, which is not great. And it also gives you the ability to place walls, just in case if you need it. But anyways, you would essentially kind of do the same thing down here. So the 2 distributors here with a little bit of space, 4-way, connect this left side into that distributor, and then you're gonna pipe. Bring you a pipe. So you're gonna want to bring it to this side, because it's your opening is right here. Oh god. I think this is the issue with kind of building this close to the wall. Or I mean this close to the ladder. I think I screwed it up. So that's a mistake that hopefully is taught, that I taught you. I totally did that on purpose. But bring your distributors a little further out from the ladder, so that doesn't happen. So now you can just directly connect like that. And then again, your 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, your fabricators. So we'll distributor cap and upgrade them. Whoa. And then again, your shield. Oh, that's not shields. 1, 2, 3 shields. Distributor cap, and then small, medium, and then your point defense on this shield, observer on this distributor. This should be built first, so have your distributor cap ready, and pipe. And then you can bring this out, and then the same 2 arc turrets. And then now, since we're gonna want some defenses at the bottom, because that is 99%, or maybe not 99%, but a good amount of attacks can come from underneath. From players. So what, actually, I wouldn't build this bridge right now, so I would put the observer, make sure to rotate it twice, because you want your output facing this way, the enemy. And then you're going to put your PD right, your point defense PD right here, and rotate it twice again. Build this bridge out, and then you can angle your camera to put a distributor cap there, and then put the pipe there, and then boom. That's the section of the Skybase. That's a section. So for expansion, you're gonna want to go 1, 2, 3. You want to go 3 out, and then this is where you're gonna build your new section. So remember, every 3 bridges, you have to build a new section. So let's rinse and repeat from here. 4, oh my god, I'm messing it up. 4, 5, build these 2, or these 5, I can't count. And then up, do that, so 1, 2, 3. Again, multitasking I think is kind of a big thing, so that you can go max speed. You see like how while these were building, I was already placing these blueprints down. And I'm gonna put the defenses here, and then I'm gonna connect this. And then observer, rotate twice, build your... If that happens, that's not great. You will lose some time, but it's fine. Mistakes can happen to the best of us. So rotate twice there, and then build your bridge out. Okay. Build your bridge out. I mean, you can rotate it if you want like that, if you want to turn, but I did not mean to turn there. And then boom. And now your arc turrets. You're here. There you go. That is your Skybase. And also make sure to put arc turrets on these sections, because this is probably where your weakest defenses are, in between the sections. Because look, there's a point defense here, there's a point defense here on these sections. They should be relatively well defended, but there are some weak spots in the defense line here, especially because there's nothing, and there's just the least amount of things here. So someone could just come down and laser drill really fast if they wanted to. So that's why we put the arc turrets here. So if anyone comes down, we want to make sure that always 2 of these can hit anywhere. So if you can see, this whole area is now covered by like at least 2 arc turrets, because it should be fast enough to kill someone. Not doing major damage. You may lose a pipe or a bridge, but it won't destroy both. Because again, if you destroy both, this will fall because gravity. So yeah, that's how you build a Skybase. Okay, now we're going to move on to the main section, or why we build Skybases actually is for attacking. That's pretty obvious, because this does not make power. That's probably the only other thing you would do in this game. Either attack or build power, or things like the setup down there. Okay, anyways. So, there's really 3 main modes of attack, like what I said in the actual tutorial video. The boars, the artillery, and the player. We're only gonna go over the blocks. We're not gonna go over the attack thing. That's more of a different section entirely, which we'll cover in the pro section. But for boars, we'll start with that first. So these boars can help stop people from building to you, especially if you use them in large numbers. But again, make sure you have the power for it, because they are expensive to like build and maintain. So they can stop enemies from building shields if they want, and also, like, it can force enemy teams to like kind of have to build around the boars if they have to, if you keep certain boars on. So first we'll build, like what I've done, we'll build 3 boars in a line, and then you're gonna build the T-pipes here, and connect them. Oh, what the heck? Connect them together. And then, boom, you're ready to attack anyone with these boars. Now, the second way, and I think it's more the main way now, because the new economy update, which drastically changed the economy, it was possible to spam these out in large numbers before, because there were these things called the submersibles, and like you could build so many of them in such a tight space, and it was so easily defendable. That you could like make essentially infinite power if you put your mind to it. But now there's no more means of like putting, because the only two what is it called, power production things that existed before that like you kind of place anywhere were the condenser and the submersible. The condenser, like you could build on these sky bases, and like you could build a large number of them, and they could make you a decent amount of power, but it's not the best. But the submersible, like, one made 15, and they were like, I can actually pull it up with this prototyper, but you would place these in the sea, and like you see they are very small. You place them in the seas, like in stacks of 3, and you could just make so many of them, so you could get so much power. and it was 15 iridium each, so that's a decent amount of power. But now, it's limited to the well pumps, which are kind of limited, and look how spread out they are. Also, the submersibles, or not submersibles, the spire batteries, which are kind of few and far between, and in spires or underground. And we got the crystal atomizer. Yes, the crystal atomizer. And there's only like so many crystals in the game, so that obviously kind of caps your power. So yeah, these boars aren't like, building like 10 of them is not really economically viable anymore. Like you will kill your power if you try it. So now it's transitioned to more of artillery focused attacks, where boars are kind of now more of support. Since you can't really power them as well, you have to or they can be used in a support role, but they're kind of expensive to try and build as an attack. Like if you try and use the boars first, I think, like if you built your boars like right here first before your artillery while you were attacking an enemy sky base, that's not great because it's going to cost you power, time, and effort. While the artillery, like, you can do, okay, wait, this is a really weird placement, but anyways, I'll start explaining. So you can build your artillery here and here on the bridge, and then you can put your 4-way here and connect them by pipe. You want to leave this open, so if you want to expand, so, and then there, you've got 2 artillery ready to, I don't know, do damage to something. And additionally, if you have the capability, if it's kind of safe, you can also build this 3rd one up here, and this will give you another artillery to fire. I think like 3 is enough to actually like keep a good amount of fire out. Like 1, okay, I'm gonna hit something. See, so that's already a decent amount of fire out, and then this one's already recharged, so you can keep a constant rate of fire out. Also, I'm gonna cover here. In the case of like if you're getting attacked, you can put a keep here, but you have to make sure that like the bridge is facing your like you've got to be facing your target, because you can't aim this way obviously. But this will make it harder. Oh wait, no, we want this further up actually, because we don't really want it to hit the bridge, because if it hits the bridge, it could cause splash damage and hit other things. So if it makes it harder to hit the artillery essentially. Yeah, and then boom, you've got some attack stuff, and then again we'll cover like the attacking as a player in different sections. So we'll see you there. Okay, so now we're gonna go over a different Skybase strategy that is, I guess, more debated in the community on how good it is. There's a few people who say Skybase, this Skybase, and what I'm talking about is with the wall reef, if it's like actually good, and there are some debates within the community on if it's actually good, but we will include it in this tutorial for the sake of people knowing that it exists. But we haven't really, honestly, like, I find that maybe this Skybase is a little better, because I think it takes less time to build and has somewhat of a decent thing. Because the main reason why you would build this is if you're kind of slow at responding to laser strikes, and I think I'm okay enough at doing laser strikes, and I don't want to waste my time trying to build a roof. But Kazik thinks like it's better because if you don't have the reaction time to stop a laser strike, it would be good. So it's kind of debated on if it's good or not, but of course we will keep it, or we will include it in this tutorial, because I think it's still a good Skybase to know, just if you want to build it. And this comes from someone who recently taught me. I think they are credited for this on the main thing, or on the main like tutorial thing. But anyways, we'll get started. So we'll place 2 keeps, and then you're gonna build this one, and then rotate this 2 times, so this is like completely horizontal. And you'll build your bridge here, and then the same midpoint that I have been doing. So I'll explain it. It's that 2 distributors that you guys saw, and the 4-way. Make sure that there's space in between those distributors so that 4-way will work. Okay, I never put the 4-way. I'm a little tired. Don't mind it. And we'll do this, and then your 5 fabricators. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Distributor cabin upgrade. And then your 3 shield. That's not shields. 1, 2, 3. Shields there. 1, 2, 3. And then small, medium. And you're gonna build your point defense on this shield. And then your observer on this front distributor. Pipe and distributor cap. There you go. So now from here, you're going to do from here. Actually, I think you're gonna do 2 ladders up, and then another bridge. Oh. Forgot about this, but you're supposed to arc turret this. So arc turret your stem because you don't want anyone trying to laser drill it. So you're gonna go another 2 up, bridge here, and then put your pipe here actually. And then the 2 distributors here. You're gonna do the same midpoint. I've already explained this like maybe 10 different times, so I'm just gonna do this in silence. Just follow along. Okay, so now you're gonna put an observer here, kind of at the back, turn it twice, and then point defense there, turn it twice. Now you're gonna build a bridge out, distributor cap here, and then point defense. You're gonna put this bridge out so you have a better camera angle, because from here the fabricators can sometimes get in the way. Sometimes. Anyways, so now you're going to actually build another ladder up here, and then a block here, and walls here. Using this block, you're gonna do that. So again, this is really to kind of prevent people from laser striking, especially if you don't have the reaction time. Of course, this is higher maintenance, I guess, because look, I'm spending time on this while I could have been expanding by now. But yeah. You can also put arc turrets here on the roof to stop people from doing some shady business up there. You know, you don't want people laser drilling this. And then kind of same thing. You just make sure that everything is protected via walls. So I'll just explain quickly. The bores, it's the same. It's literally the same as this Skybase right here, except you're gonna have walls. You're gonna have walls over it. The artillery, however, is a different thing. So from this wall, you're gonna want to place a bridge here, and then your artillery here, and then this will all be powered by distributor caps, because you need 2 4-ways. This is enough to power everything you need. Gosh darn it! I think okay, and then we can place this here. Oh my god, here. Piping sometimes, like, on these angles is kind of a nightmare, but there you go. Boom, you got your 3 artillery, and a good advantage is that it is higher than this one right here. You do get that small height advantage, which could be pretty good. Well, it is, because you can hit further. That's clear. But yeah, there's your wall Skybase.